What's going on, guys? Sky here from Techlifetodayco today, back with another video. In today's video, we're talking to you guys about the best smartphone out there. So I want to do this discussion mainly because a lot of people have different opinions on the latest smartphones out today. A lot of people like one phone over the other, and I wanted to hear what you guys think. So I actually started a stream out on stre.am/tech, and I asked the viewers what they thought. And this is live right now on stre.am/tech. Definitely check it out. But I'm going to talk to you guys about what people recommended. So keep in mind, everyone can still ask, what are your favorite phones? It doesn't matter what kind of phone it is. What is your favorite smartphone out there? To those 8 people in the stream right now, what is your favorite smartphone and why? At Oilman says, I have both an LG and Samsung phone, so it's hard to decide. And then Oilman says also, my first smartphone was a HTC Desire. That's a good smartphone. Let's see. He also says, only thing I don't like about the Galaxy S7 is it overheats when I stream. Same thing with my phone. I don't know why, but it really badly overheats. I don't get it, but my Note 7, or Note 5, excuse me. Oh, man, I don't want Note 7. But my Note 5, it gets really, really hot to the touch. Let's see. Yep, when I have it in the windshield. Yep. So I'm going to ask one of my friends on here. What's that? Yeah, the stream does shut down. Discussion on stream about the best phone and why. What? Alright, I asked for my friend to see what his favorite phone is and why, but let's see. I even tried putting a heat ink on the back of the phone. Oh yeah. Yeah, that's funny. You know, quite frankly, these phones are really, yeah, I'd try it. Why not? I mean, that probably, I don't know how well that would work though. I don't know, but yeah, so what are your favorite phones out there? So I showed the photo of the iPhone because a lot of people are thinking about the iPhone. Whether you love Android or iOS, a lot of people like the iPhone. There's always a reason why people like one phone over the other. You know, people like the iPhone generally because of the software, because of how simple it is, and people like that. All right, I like it personally. I think it's awesome. People like Android because of obvious reasons. It's more customizable. You can do more with it. It's a lot of fun. You can have widgets. You can do all these different features with it. It's more open source type of software. You know, it's a pretty awesome thing. But you know, it's very interesting to see what people everyone's different opinions. I've never been a fan of Samsung phones. I have the Note 5 because I want to test it out. I want to see how it was. I made the switch from an iPhone. Personally, at first, I loved it. I absolutely loved having the Note 5. It was the greatest smartphone in the world. But honestly, I got tired of it. The battery was terrible. Nothing would work on it. It would always freeze up, which never happened with my iPhone. Even my iPhone 5, for example, it still works fine. You know, I personally, I'm pro iOS. I love iOS. And not even because of the I don't know. I don't like how there's nothing wrong with how simple it is. What bothers me about Android, and quite frankly, is not I'm not bashing Android because I know there's some good phones like the Nexus 6P and the Nexus, I'm sure the Google Pixel phone that run pure Android and work like a charm. They were beautiful. I've used them. But at least in my experience with the Galaxy Note 5, it gets slow after a while. And I know that's because of the software that Samsung puts on there. I know that. Alright? But I like the idea of being more open source. I like the design of iOS a little bit better, because quite frankly, when you get in that ecosystem, it kind of you can't get out of it. I have an iPhone, I have an Apple Watch, I have an iPad, I have a MacBook, I have an Apple TV. I mean, I'm clearly in that ecosystem of Apple, everything Apple. I mean, it's clear, it's quite obvious, but I guess that is a problem, right? Because I'm so into Apple. But that is the point. That's the point of what I'm trying to say. People have different opinions. I respect that. So I'm going to talk real quick about what people are saying. At Oilman says, I'm pro Android. It's cheaper and more open source. I completely agree. That is true. It's cheap. Generally have a lot more cheaper phones. Quite frankly, the iPhone SE, they call that cheap, but quite frankly, no one would want that phone. And there's also the SD card option. I couldn't agree more. That's what's so great about Android. And I know I didn't get the full experience with my Note 5 because I didn't have the SD card. I didn't have all those different features. With the Note 7, you do. But it blows up. I mean, that doesn't really help too much. But phones like the Moto X Pure, that's a good phone. That's a genuinely good phone. It has stock Android for the most part, has a micro SD card, it's a completely open source, like I said, and it's a good overall smartphone. So I can't say it's a bad phone. I can't say Android's bad software. It's really decent software. It's just I've always been a fan of iOS. I don't know why. I can't tell you why. Maybe it probably is because my first phone was an iPhone, but that may have something to do with it. Maybe because of how stuck I am with the ecosystem with iOS, but who knows. Let's see. At Tech for Easy says on Facebook, the phone I would choose is the OnePlus 3 since it has 6 gigs of RAM, which I think is good, and the price is reasonable. Okay, that's a reasonable thing to say. 6 gigs of RAM. I don't know how much that matters in the long run. I really don't think it matters much. I really don't. But I think it's decent. Best smartphone out today. Now, this is going to be a preference type of thing. Now, while I am a fan of iPhone, I'm not saying the iPhone's the best phone. I know someone may be shocked, but while I prefer iOS over Android, I'm not saying iPhone's the best phone. I personally think the Nexus 6P. I think the Nexus 6P is a very capable smartphone. It's a very cheap phone. It has all the latest software, all the latest functionalities. I think it's a good smartphone, front-facing speakers, and it's not a bad price. It's very well priced. I think that's a decent smartphone. That's personally my favorite phone out in the market right now. I would have said Note 7 if it was not blowing up, but that bothers me a little bit, to be honest with you. Another option is obviously the Moto X Pure Edition, and even the Moto Z, for example. But those are some good cable smartphones. iPhone, I think if you like the Apple ecosystem, it's a perfect smartphone for you. But it's not very great. It's not a very good option. I don't think for a lot of people. I don't think a lot of people would say it's the best phone on the market. Period. I really don't think that's gonna happen. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'm kind of curious to hear what you have to think about this. Whether you guys like Android. All right. Actually, next question. Why do you like Android or iOS? Why? I'm kind of curious to hear about all this. I'm kind of I want to hear what you guys have to say. But it is very interesting to see how many people have different opinions. It's quite crazy. It's quite cool at the same time, obviously. But let's see. Let me edit that up. Whoops, my bad. But like I said, it's a very capable smartphone. It really is. They're good smartphones. I never said it wasn't. It's a decent smartphone. I don't think there's anything wrong, if you will, with the phone. But I like an iPhone but cannot afford it. That's the main thing with a lot of people. They like iPhones. A lot of people like iPhones, but they can't afford the phone. That's the big thing. Luckily, I'm fortunate enough to be able to afford it. With YouTube and I do different things, I'm able to afford it. I can go buy an iPhone if I want to. I'm not going to, but I can. And that's the difference, though. I'm not trying to brag. The point is, though, is that some people are fortunate to be able to do it, and some aren't. Especially when you have to buy phones unlocked. I can't stand it. I buy phones. I generally buy phones unlocked. I can't stand it because of how expensive these phones are. I mean, quite frankly, with an iPhone, it's like $700, $649, $700, and even with the case of the Google Pixel phone, which I just did a video on, $649 starting. Not cheap. Not cheap whatsoever. So it is quite annoying, to be honest with you. I'm not going to say it isn't. I'm not going to tell you guys that people should be able to upgrade every year. I think everyone should have a chance to upgrade whenever they wanted to. So it's kind of disappointing, with how expensive these phones are these days. $500 or less, I think, is reasonable. But I think other than that, I don't think so. I don't know. It's just very interesting to see what other people's point of views are. Let's see. Alright. I'm not going to say where anyone lives, but this person says, Iceman07 says, especially for me, $700? Well, I'd have to work 3 months for that money. Yeah, I mean, that is very, very true. I mean, $700 in some areas of the world is a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I was talking to one person, I'm not going to say who it is, but South Africa, $700 for a phone, that is a long time to work for a phone. I mean, um, like I said, I'm not going to say where these people. I'm not. I'm not into that. I don't like telling people where they live and all that. I don't know. That's just me. I don't think. If it was me, I don't know what. I tell people that I'm in the United States because I think that's very important for technology related. But for those outside of for the viewers, I don't want to talk about that. But it is important. At the end of the day, it is important to talk about that. It's crazy how in some areas of the world you're fortunate enough to be able to get a phone every year, whereas in other countries you just cannot do that. You have to work for a while to make that kind of money. It's unfortunate, but it's very, very true. At Oilman says, I'm doing the AT&T Next plan for an extra $26 a month for 30 months. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people do that. I mean, quite frankly, a lot of people like AT&T. I don't. But honestly, a lot of these carriers like to rip you off at times, so I can't say that. But the option to buy out, yeah, that's pretty cool. I like the I don't do it, but I think it's pretty cool. The Sprint trade-in program, or sorry, the Apple trade-in program, where you can get a new phone every year. I think it's pretty cool. If you're especially an iPhone, that's a really good option. I mean, let's be honest here. That's a really good option. I mean, for those that you pay like $26 a month or something like that, $30 a month, and you get a brand new iPhone every year. I think that's pretty awesome. I don't know. I like that a lot. But yeah, like I said, it's very interesting to see what everyone says. All right, let's see. All right, at IceMan07 says, my league is something like the Samsung J3 or Samsung Galaxy J3 for 2016, or maybe the Huawei Honor 7 Lite. Those may be my future phones. One of them, that is. All right. I mean, those are very inexpensive phones that are, I think, especially the Huawei one, that are capable of decent software. It's so crazy how all these different, these phones go. These phones are so expensive. Like the iPhone, it's like I said, it starts at such an expensive price. It's crazy. It's so expensive. I mean, really, the new iPhones, for example, they're extremely expensive. They're not a cheap phone anymore, like they were to begin with. But I mean, there's some good phones out there. I think the Honor 7 Lite is a decent smartphone out there, but you can also consider things like the P9 Lite and all that. There are some pretty good phones out there. I mean, for example, the Honor 7 Lite has a 5.2-inch 1080p screen, all these different 13-megapixel rear camera, 8-megapixel front-facing camera. I mean, it had 3,000 milliamp battery. It has some good features. I mean, 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of storage on board. So it has some decent specs. I mean, it really does. But yeah, it's very interesting to see what everyone has to say about it. I'm still trying to get info on the new Chromecast. Alright, I'll do a video on that if you'd want. Let me get that up. Actually, I heard about that. $69? It's a little... Oh, it's outrageous. I would never spend $69 on a Chromecast. I'm sorry. That's just me. But yeah, we can change the subject. I mean, we've been on the stream for a while, so... Huawei is good, about $200, but it has a metal body, fingerprint scan, 5.2-inch screen. Yes. You can't answer this one. What do you mean? But I mean, quite frankly, it's just crazy. I mean, a lot of the Honor, there's some good phones out there. There really are. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna talk about the Chromecast Ultra because actually, now that you're thinking about it, I want to talk about this now because I actually did plan on doing a video this week about it, but I guess since one of the viewers wanted it today, I'm gonna be happy to do it for you guys. But because I have a little nitpicking to do about it, but I have my opinions on that device, to say the very least. But thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram at RealSkyV, and hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace.